one of the worst teams in the Premier League, factually.
You're almost saying, well, what's your 5-year plan? Well, mate, there's a 5-game plan at the minute.
The last time Harry Redknapp was a manager, TikTok was not even a thing. My club died in Paris. As a massive football club, we're done.
Hello and welcome to Inside talkSPORT, sponsored by BetMGM. I'm Abbi Summers, and in the next 25 minutes, we'll be breaking down the biggest sporting talking points of the week. And at the end of the show, we'll put it all together as we build our Inside ACCA. Don't forget, you can download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk, 18+, gambleware.org. Please do gamble responsibly. Joining me today are some of my favourite people. Broadcast journalist and Chelsea fan Kweku Afari, Rory Cook, a.k.a. Rory Talks Football, and AGT from the COP TV. I know who said you're my favourite people as well, that was a lie. Anyway, boys, hi, nice to see you all again.
Good to be back.
A bit more enthusiasm.
Yay! Up the Reds.
All right. Where to start? I mean, it's been international break. We've got an FA Cup weekend coming up. Would like to say we don't need to talk about Tottenham, but as usual, just making headlines everywhere we go. Yeah, Roberto De Zerbi. Quakes, want to kick us off with your thoughts on this one?
I wouldn't have gone for De Zerbi personally. I think he's a combustible manager, and we don't really know if it doesn't work out for him between now and the end of the season where his loyalty is going to lie come the end of the season if you are in the Championship. But in terms of quality of manager, yeah, he's probably the best out there you could have got. You are a team that are perpetually fighting relegation. You finished 17th last year. You're fighting relegation again this year. I know that you had a night out in Bilbao and it was lovely for Spurs fans, but you are one of the worst teams in the Premier League, factually. Like, you might be the worst team in the Premier League. Haven't won the game in 2026. And so for you to get Roberto De Zerbi, that's a huge coup. And that's not even me trying to wind you up, Abs. It's a huge coup. It's a huge coup. This is a manager that he has his sights set on managing some of the biggest clubs in the world. And you have got one of the best stadiums in the world. And I think you've got a big enough fan base, but in terms of the actual club, in terms of the actual size of Tottenham Hotspur, you're nowhere near it. And so for you to have Roberto De Zerbi in, you best pray that you stay up this season, because having him for next season, I think you've given yourself a way better opportunity than bringing in somebody like Harry Redknapp, who I do very much think is a short-term appointment.
But obviously the appointment would have been a short-term thing to the end of the season, and then depending on what and where Tottenham are, then it would have made the decision to then be like, okay, well, we can go in this direction or this direction, depending if you're in the if you're in the Championship or if you're in the Premier League.
But do you believe in the board?
I don't believe in the board.
To make that decision. So I feel like you managed to get your hands on De Zerbi, you almost stumbled into it the way that you almost stumbled into Poch.
I don't think it's a stumbling into De Zerbi. I mean, they were interested in trying to get De Zerbi when we had 12 games to go when they got Igor Tudor. But they couldn't convince De Zerbi at the time. So let's be honest, when you're saying about a coup and bringing him in, money talks. I mean, he must be getting a significant amount of money for him to be able to come in at 7 games to go. And I'm sure there will be a very big pay packet if he does stay up. And I would also assume that they're saying there isn't a release. I cannot imagine that if Tottenham did get relegated, there wouldn't be a release for him. Do you really think he's going to be managing in the Championship?
But I would say that, like, it is a coup, because there's no way that De Zerbi would touch a job like Forest, for example. And that's the level of team that you are. And that's not even disrespect. That's where you are. Those are the kind of team you're competing against. Would De Zerbi go to a West Ham? No. If West Ham got
So then we're not really the same.
So it'd be a huge coup. So for Spurs to bring in De Zerbi, who was managing in the Champions League earlier this season, is a massive coup. You should be grateful.
Yeah, but he is. I think he's like one of the most high-paid managers in the world now, on a 5-year deal. So it's just like the fact that you couldn't convince him to join until you basically threw so much money at him
and
that
said,
he couldn't
take whatever you want.
Like, his incentive's not even like a managerial, like, oh, I'll go and take over at Tottenham and I'll bring them back to the top 6 and that'll be really good. I think he's just
top 10 would be good.
Well, yeah, that'd be a start. I think he's just gone, I am never going to get this offer financially ever again. I'll take it, and if we go down, I don't even think he thinks if we go down. If they go down,
100%.
I'll be on my way with a decent little package.
And as well, if you look at his managerial record thus far, I don't think he stayed at a club for more than 2 to 3 years. So in this situation, when batten down the hatches, get every point you can, obviously, you know, that'll be a pub quiz question one day. Which ground did Igor Tudor actually get a point? It was bloody Liverpool, of course it was. But I feel to give him a 5-year deal when there's 7 games left is shocking from the above, from the board.
I mean, if you didn't know
it
already...
doesn't surprise me, though.
Exactly.
It doesn't surprise me, but I still think...
If you didn't know, this board haven't got a clue what they're doing. And I've
He's never been anywhere for more than 2.5... If he had it his way...
He's never going to be there for 5 years. We are all aware of that.
Obviously not, which
Tottenham
again
don't keep managers for more than 18 months at a push.
But Abbi, again, that's a mistake, because then you're going to have to pay him out X amount to get rid of him. But what I'm saying is, if he had a fresh start and, you know, he comes in pre-season, Tottenham are guaranteed Prem, he would be saying, right, with this squad, with the money I'll have available, with this stadium, with my expertise, I'm looking to finish 4th or 6th. I don't know if he's got the personality to batten down the hatches, almost sell his personality into the changing room to be like, look, you guys have got to fight for me. 7 games to go. Let's stay in this Prem. And then, look, pre-season we start again. We'll have Madison, Kulusevski, etc. I don't know if he's the guy. I mean, I saw Sean Dyche linked. He would have been a more suitable, and I know you're laughing, more suitable candidate for just 7 games. Whereas to give him a 5-year deal, you're almost saying, well, what's your 5-year plan? Well, mate, there's a 5-game plan at the minute. I think it's
but that was meant to be Igor Tudor. He was meant to be the guy that you go like, long term, it doesn't seem like he does that well, but he does have a history of getting into a club, batting down the hatches and going, right, let's just, for the end of the season, get us. But even he came in within like a week, he was like, I don't know what I've worked into with it. But for De Zerbi, if he goes, I don't know what, that's actually going to be like an explosion.
Well, I mean, there's a very conceivable chance that happens. Every manager that comes into Tottenham seems to go, I didn't actually know it was as bad as... I know it was bad, I didn't actually know it was that bad.
They can't keep having managers that publicly say this, though. You know, you've got 7 games to save your Premier League status. Let's say 4 games into that. Let's say he's lost 2, drawn 1, won 1. He might throw a little bomb out in a press conference and you go, what have you said that for? You're going to get sacked again.
He's a combative manager.
Exactly, and that's why I think it's a ridiculous decision.
He's also got, in terms of the style of play, he loves the whole baiting the press thing. He has a very distinctive style of play. I said with the Igor Tudor thing, I'm not interested in someone coming in at this stage with 12 games to go trying to implement what they want to implement. I need you to keep us up in any which way. Did I think Igor Tudor with the back 3 was going to do that? Absolutely not. When I saw him playing Porro at right centre-back, of course not. Ridiculous appointment by the board. Now you've gone and got De Zerbi, and I'm not saying it to be negative. This could work out. We could go to Sunderland and get a result. We could have the second game Brighton at home. You know, that's his old club. We could get a result and everyone's happy. Great. We've turned a corner and he's staying up. And I do think if we were making this appointment, let's say we would have sacked Thomas Frank when we should have probably sacked Thomas Frank November, December time. If he was brought in then, I would have said, yeah, all right, fair, good appointment. Like, I can see fits in well in terms of stylistically with Tottenham. Maybe not so much personality-wise. He's a bit Conte-esque. I don't know how that's going to work with the board. That will probably explode at some point, but whatever, football-wise, I can see it. But we're talking about with 7 games to go. And my thing is, I'm fresh out of ideas. I don't know what this team does. I don't know what will work, what won't work. This is a massive roll of the dice, in my opinion. Igor Tudor was a stupid appointment, and I expect nothing less from the board. This, for me, has panic station all over it. We'll give you whatever you want, as much money, whatever deal for you to come in. But 7 games. 7 games?
The thing is, he
could do it. It's not inconceivable. The one thing I would just say is Tottenham, they're more likely probably to play their way out of the situation they're in than to be defensive-minded, because it's more ingrained in them to play an Ange style of football.
They'll give it a go.
If he can get the best out of Xavi Simons, that's all anyone has wanted, to see Xavi Simons have the same level of performance or impact that he has in the Champions League for us in the Premier League.
Whatever
Sunderland away as well.
I mean, obviously the players are going to come back into training today, maybe. For the next game, you've obviously got a little while to go to your next game, but instantly the body language, everything has to be so... It just can't be what Van der Ven did to Tudor, going like that. Yeah, the body language, everyone's got to buy into this guy.
We've got, what, another 10, 11 days until Tottenham play.
Which is a good thing, really, because he's going to have that time to get to know the team.
I said that about Igor Tudor, though.
Yeah. But the thing is, with the De Zerbi thing, who else would you have gone for if you're Spurs if you don't go for De Zerbi?
If I was a Spurs fan, I would have said Harry.
Come on,
you say that, but I've sat next to Abbi for the last 3 months, and she's saying the same thing, and it's drummed into my head. If I was a Spurs fan, it's not thinking about what's the best for year 1, year 2. From right now, someone to come in and just lift everyone emotionally, it's Harry Redknapp.
I think that's what should have happened instead of Igor Tudor, but what do I know?
It's not long term, is it? Just get him in and fix it.
But who does it lift? They don't lift the players. Spurs players aren't going to remember Harry.
But it's the whole club, it's the fans.
Let's be honest, we were having conversations about having to wait a week for Cheltenham to be done, for Harry to potentially come. This is a man that's not going to be a manager.
National on Saturday.
Yeah, like, come on. I love Harry Redknapp. I think Spurs played some of the best football I've seen under Harry Redknapp. It was so exciting, those years where we were in the Champions League.
In 2010.
Yeah, in 2010.
Proper football years.
The last time he managed a football club was 2017.
I don't care about that.
And they went down.
I think that's nonsense.
I don't think that's relevant.
I think it's totally irrelevant. Why is it relevant?
For 7 games, him going down 8 years ago is not relevant.
Bristol City just reappointed Roy Hodgson.
Yeah, they're in the Championship.
42
Oh,
years.
we're
And
already in the Championship,
and he said, I
Rory.
didn't even realise half the squad was injured.
Roy Hodgson's been out of football for 2 years. Harry Redknapp's been out of football for 9 years.
But you want to be ageist about it.
I'm so. It's not even age. I didn't mention his age. You mentioned his age.
You mentioned his age.
I say he's been out of football for 9 years. And if you want to... How is Harry Redknapp going to relate to Abbi Simmons? What is he going to
he's a
say to
terrific
him?
little
The
player.
last time
he's
Harry Redknapp
terrific.
was a manager, TikTok was not even a thing.
Who cares?
I'm so sorry, but he can't relate to these players anymore. And there's a reason why these relegation specialists or these firefighters, they're not a thing. We saw what happened when Sean Dyche went to Forest. We saw what happened, right? In football, you need to get the best tactical manager
that argument
available.
that TikTok wasn't even a thing is the
That's
most
irrelevant.
ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
irrelevant.
Well, TikTok wasn't a thing when Xabi Alonso was playing. What a ridiculous statement to make. So he can't relate to players.
Come on, man.
Just stupid comment, Quake.
It's not a stupid comment.
Stupid comment. Very you.
Please tell me how... Do you agree with me?
Okay, of course I do. If the only argument is, oh yeah, but the fans will love him, you had a bus parade before the Nottingham Forest game. You got smashed 3-0.
Well,
the fans were all there.
That's not on the
You're
fans.
waving the white smoke.
That's not on the fans.
No, but
the
whole
fans are
idea
doing
of-
we're doing our
Yeah,
best.
no, but what I'm saying is
we're
the whole
really doing our best.
What I'm saying is the whole. Oh well, if the fans are up for it under Harry,
helps, though,
I think
they lost 3-0.
Well,
I know, but-
look,
you need a manager
they
that can
had the wrong
actually manage
manager.
a football match.
They had the wrong
I'll be
manager
honest.
for that parade.
I think at this point, this parade thing is nonsense. Everton are doing
I
it
don't
to
hate
keep them
that
up.
as well, by the
What do you
way.
want us to do?
Show a bit of character.
No, I don't hate
People
it,
are on
I'm
our
saying it
backs.
works.
People are on our backs when we don't support the team enough and we slag the team off. And I think we have every right to slag the team off. In my opinion, I will continue to do that. Yeah. People are on our backs when we try and get behind the team and make it a warm, friendly, lovely environment. We love you so much. We're going to give you all our energy, and then you still go and play and let us
My
down.
point is, it doesn't make it
what do you
much
want
of a
us to do?
difference, or as much as a difference
I
as you
don't
think
actually
it
think
does.
it matters who's in charge at this point. I think it matters who's on the pitch. It's
Well,
on
that's the
the
problem, yeah.
players. It literally doesn't matter if you had Chirpy in charge at this point. Have the mascot. Right, before we move on, do you think we stay up? Take your bad mind energy out of it, please.
Do you know what? I don't actually have any bad mind energy. I just speak the truth. The Spurs stay up.
I'll use that in future.
Yeah, they do. Unfortunately, they do. I think you just... Have you got better players than West Ham or Forest? No, you haven't. I just think you stay up. In my mind, I can't conceive a side that has the best stadium in the world playing in the Championship. So I think Spurs stay up, but I haven't got any footballing reasons to give you for it.
Fair.
Yeah, I think you stay. I think you lose the first two, and it's like unbelievable popcorn in the media, and then you turn it around just about. De Zerbi is like an elite coach.
I think you just about do it, but I do agree with Rory. I think there is 7. You probably need to win 2.
Yeah.
I think
Probably
we need to win,
to stay up, you probably need to win 2
You've
or
got
3
Wolves.
tops.
I think you need to win 3.
And I think you just do it, but I don't think it starts well. I think it's like West Brom 2005 Great Escape vibes.
Kieran Richardson vibes.
Yeah.
Well, by the
Jeff Horsfield.
time that we play, I think by the time we play, we will probably be in that bottom 3. Right, we'll move on then, shall we? Let's talk about Mohamed Salah, because he's leaving
yes.
Liverpool. Our losing a player like Salah, I know you are the ultimate Salah fanboy. How do you feel?
Do you know what? I was in Marrakesh on holiday last week, trying to get away from all football. Get out of the shower. You know that little beer you have when your missus is getting ready in the shower, and you think, I'll have a little beer, and I'm flicking. Mo Salah's going to leave. I was like, we're not going out now. We obviously still did. I waited a day to put a video out, but I was watching Stevie G on the Overlap this morning, and he said that he's spoken directly to Mo, and he's almost relied on him to still give it absolutely everything in the remaining games. I think there is an argument to say because of his elite mentality, he could end up in Italy for 2 or 3 years and then MLS or Saudi. I still think he's got too much to offer. And I'm not saying that would be a bad mood for him. I think he would be adored instantly out in Saudi. With this news now, he doesn't want to be on the bench in his swan song. I still think, and I said this to you, I still think there's something that's going to happen this season with Mo in terms of will he score a winner against City? That would be a great place to start on Saturday. Will he get us through to the next round of Champions League? I mean, his final game for Liverpool could be in Budapest. There is no better way to sign off. You can't replace him. You can buy maybe 2 players to try and get near to the output. Maybe not this season, but he does give you 40 to 50 goals, assists per season traditionally in the last 8 seasons. How do you replace that? I've heard people say bring Harvey Elliott back, buy an Elise. That's going to be very difficult because Bayern don't want to play ball for less than 100 mil. There's still something that Mo Salah is going to do from now until the end of the season that is very Mo Salah, a big moment, a goal, an assist. And I think we've got to just get behind him and give him the best send-off possible. I think to do it now, to tell the world you're going to leave at the end of the season during an international break, there's pros and cons. The pros are for him, you know, he's got time to think now, he can sit down with his agent. The cons for the club is it can be seen as a bit selfish, maybe wait till the end of the season or the night before the last game of the season. I think if he announces it now and we go on to win a cup, it's been great. If he announces it now and we don't, I think maybe he could look back and say, maybe I shouldn't have done it then.
Let's talk Arsenal then, because it has been international break, and Arsenal players, lots of them have kind of withdrawn from international duty. Lots of people saying they pulled out on purpose. What do you reckon on that?
We're actually still talking about that?
Yeah.
Oh, we're okay.
International break. Yeah.
No, I think.
Unless you want to talk about Southampton.
We're going to get to that.
No, I think honestly, I think they probably should be banned for life. I think it's a disgrace. I think being injured at this stage of the season when you have been fighting in all competitions, I honestly think it's a disgrace. Yeah.
What do you actually think?
No, ban them. No, I think they're all injured mostly.
Is it?
Madueke is.
So Madueke is injured.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But the rest of them aren't injured. I'm telling you now.
Hincapié pulled up.
Do you think it's disrespectful?
No, it's a friendly. We pay too much respect. I'll tell you, the last international break in November, we paid too much respect. We sent Gabriel to Brazil for a friendly against Senegal. Even though he had been playing loads, he pulled up, was out for 6 weeks for a meaningless friendly.
Yeah.
He doesn't go to this one, he's going to be fine. Rafinha, Barcelona, he's been playing loads. He pays the respect to going and playing friendlies in Brazil, pulls his hamstring, he's out for 5 weeks.
But do you think that you shouldn't then get a call up even if you miss a friendly?
Of course you should. I mean, Harry Kane hasn't played. Like, he went, but he hasn't played.
Oh, just for the record, I rate it.
Yeah. And even Thomas
Tuchel
Tuchel came out and he said Rice and Saka turned up and they're not fit.
Yeah.
So he sent them home.
And I think under Southgate, it's a different story. But I think Tuchel, having been a club manager, understands what this is. Like, and this also serves him well. He understands about the fatigue that players incur by playing so many games, and he wants them at their very best come the World Cup. So it benefits him no deal to play them right now in games against Uruguay and Japan.
It's not good for chemistry, though, and rhythm, is it? Having the big lads out.
It's not FIFA, mate.
I think, though, that with this particular break, like, he's been kind of figuring out what and who he wants to also have a look at. I mean, look, the performances have not been good.
I don't
They've been
think
pretty
he
dull.
knows what he wants, to be honest.
And not ideal losing to Japan either. But I'm on board with the thing that, like, if it's an actual qualifier, like, for example, you know, Gyökeres going to Sweden and Bergwijn, whatever, I'm fully on board with it. Like, absolutely go and do your patriot duty. But I do think when it's a friendly, and this is crunch time, Arsenal could win their first Premier League in 20-odd years.
With the treble.
Could. Won't, but could. Like,
it's very feasible.
It's on.
All right.
It's on till it's not. So
It's
That's
on.
what I used to say in 2022.
It is on.
All right, it's on.
It is on.
It's on. It's
No,
on.
but the thing is, like,
We're digressing away from actually the point here. I was actually being nice about Arsenal for a change, saying I rate it. I think that's good that your captains
Fergie
and
was the
everyone
master,
else
yeah.
want to play for Arsenal and want to be fit and don't want to waste their time and energy going. I wish I could say the same about mine.
The other thing is, a lot of the players that came back or didn't go were players that are like locked in, probably starting 11 players. So it's not even like Madueke went, even though he probably didn't need to, but he's fighting for a spot. So I'm like, fair play, go fight for a spot at the World Cup. That Declan Rice and Saka are going to start the World Cup.
Of course.
Whether they
Tuchel knows
played 10 minutes before or 100 minutes.
And also, we've given a load of opportunities.
We also have seen this done so many times. United used to do it all the time in Australia.
We've given loads of opportunities to players as well. Our players haven't gone. All of your players got opportunities to show themselves, and no one's done it. So our players look better by not going because no one showed up, did
the
they?
embodiment of rage baiting. I'm not going to rise to that.
True.
Although you mentioned Rice and you mentioned Saka, and Rice definitely, but Saka nailed on to start for England.
Yeah,
he will start for England. But I don't think his form warrants it. I think there's
a lot of players you could say
he's not playing very
their
well
form
right
doesn't
now.
warrant it, and especially attacking areas.
For sure.
This
But
season,
Saka's-
Bowen's had a better season individually than Saka. Individually.
Yeah, but the
Palmer.
problem is Bowen never does it for England.
No, that's what I'm saying. He hasn't been.
Bowen's played 21 games for England. He's scored 1 goal.
Yeah, but I think on form, if we're going off form, you know yourself, Saka's had a poor season.
100%. It's
You know
worse.
that.
Yeah.
Saka had a better season. Has he had a better season than Cole Palmer, Saka? Probably not.
Yes, but that's not saying a lot.
Pretty even, to be fair. Cole Palmer's been injured for a lot of it.
I know, he's still scored more goals than Saka.
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah, of course.
But
he
also,
has.
Saka has turned up for England.
Saka's not a big goal scorer.
Every
really,
single time Saka has been asked to, he's turned up for England. Saka has never turned up to England and not delivered.
So has Cole Palmer, who scored the final.
He does limp off every game, though, doesn't he?
Yes, because he gets kicked off the park.
Oh, excuse.
Bless
Let's get the
him.
violin out.
Yeah.
Let's quickly just look at the FA Cup because Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool, you're all in action this weekend. Anyone think they're going to win the FA Cup? Chelsea?
No. I
No?
don't. No, I don't think. My club died in Paris. Like, my football club died in Paris. And not to be melodramatic about it,
Not at all being melodramatic.
When Vitinha scored that goal, I think it was the 74th minute.
Finish.
Since that moment, we've conceded 10 goals and scored none.
Love that.
And lost every game.
Love that for you.
And the biggest indictment of that game, and I know we're going to talk about the FA Cup, the biggest indictment of that game was I had people texting me afterwards being like, yeah, but you played well. And I said, OK, that's why I'll know we'll finish. Because back in the day, we'd play badly and people would be like, Chelsea are S-house on their way to victory, but we'd win that game after playing badly. To say that we played well and lost 5-2, lost 8-2 on aggregate, that's how Denmark used to get slapped, like 5-6 years ago. Like we are as a massive football club, we're done. And I don't want to kind of labour the point because I think all Chelsea fans with eyes can see this and know this, but my football club, as I previously knew it, we are finito. And the problem with us as well is that we don't have the floor of Manchester United or an Arsenal or Liverpool, the three heritage clubs in this country, where it's like, yeah, they'll have bad seasons, but a really bad season for Arsenal was finishing 8th. Right? Now, I know Man United have gone below that last season, but really bad seasons for Man United and Liverpool, you think probably 8th, 9th, really bad season.
Our worst ever is 8th.
For Chelsea, our floor can be maybe not as low as yours, but it can be really bad. Because we're not... The way that we were built was very different to the way that those clubs were built.
Basically, long and short, no. Rory, what do you fancy your chances as, by the way?
I think we're all right until we play City. So we might make the final because you could end up with like Leeds or West Ham in the semi.
Yeah.
But I think because we've got Champions League to deal with, City have got just FA Cup, Premier League.
So they're
I think
definitely
Pep
beating
would-
Liverpool, are they, yeah?
Yeah, sorry. Probably. You've got Champions League to deal with as well.
Is your focus more on Champions League or FA Cup? Or both?
It's both. It has to be both. This is the first game back after the international. It's the first game since Mo's announced he's leaving. There is no excuse not to go out and try and give absolutely everything against City. We lost there 3-0 in the Cup last year. We lost there 3-0 in the league this year. If it was at Anfield, I'd have a bit more hope, but... I mean, if we can get through and beat City, then I think we will win it.
It is time for our Inside ACCA with BetMGM, 18+, gambleware.org. Kweku, kick us off then. How do you see your game going against Port Vale? Got any facts and stats for me about Port Vale?
No facts and stats about Port Vale.
Robbie Williams' team?
Yeah, there we go. Bottom of League One at the moment, are definitely going down to League Two. But I think Chelsea win this game, and I'm going for over 4.5 goals. I think there'll be a lot of goals in this.
OK, right, nice. Rory? Southampton against Arsenal?
Yeah, I'm kind of going the opposite way. I think it's going to be low score, and I'm going to go both teams to score no.
You'll probably have a lot of rotation in this, no?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. A lot of players out injured at the moment. So I think we'll, batten down the hatches, keep a clean sheet.
Oh.
If this was a league game, I'd probably go for a draw. But because we have to win this game and we have to get through and try and win a trophy this season, I'll go for us to win.
Right. Don't forget, you can download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk, 18+, gambleware.org. Please do gamble responsibly. That is all we've got time for this week. Thanks to Kweku, thanks to Rory and AGT, and to all of you for watching. Join me again next week on Inside talkSPORT, sponsored by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk, 18+, gambleware.org. Please gamble responsibly.